Ratio is a comparison of two quantities. Ratio is a comparison of two quantities and ratio can be written as a fraction. Ratio can be written as a fraction. So let us see one example. Here red and blue tiles are there. So we have to find ratio of red tiles to blue tiles. Let's count. How many red tiles are there? Yes, 1, 2 and 3. So the number of red tiles are 3. How many blue tiles are there? Yes, very good, 2. 1 and 2. So number of blue tiles are 2. So let's write the ratio. Question is ratio of red tiles to blue tiles. So you have to write the number of red tiles first and then blue tiles. So number of red tiles are 3. So I am writing 3 first and then is to 2. So we can write it as 3 by 2 also because ratio can be written as a fraction. So I am writing it as 3 by 2. It's clear? Okay, equivalent ratios. For that you have to multiply or divide the numerator and denominator by a common number. You can refer page number 65 in your maths book. So you can get equivalent ratios by multiply or divide the numerator and denominator by a common number. So let's do one example. Find 3 equivalent ratio for the given ratio 1 by 3. Find 3 equivalent ratios for the given ratio 1 by 3. You know how to find equivalent ratio. How will you find? Yes, you have to multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number. So let's take 2. You have to multiply numerator and the denominator. So what will you get? 1 2s are 2. 3 2s are 6. Again, let's choose one number. Let's take 3. So 1 by 3. You have to multiply the numerator and both the denominator with the same number. So I am multiplying 3 with the numerator and 3 with the denominator. So what will you get? 1 3s are 3, 3 3s are 9. So let's take another number. 1 by 3 into 4. So you have to multiply the numerator and the denominator. So 1 4s are 4, 3 4s are 12. It is easy, right? So you can find for this number. So 2 by 5. So tell me any number. Yeah, you take 2. So let's take 2. So multiply the numerator by 2 and then the denominator by 2. So 2 2s are 4 and 5 2s are 10. Correct. Next 2 by 5 into 3 and denominator also you have to multiply by 3. So 2 3s are 6. 5 3s are 15. Yes, very good. Next 2 by 5 into numerator you have to multiply by 4 and the denominator also you have to multiply by 4. So 2 4s are 8 and 5 4s are 20. Okay, is it clear? Same exercise, problem number 5. You have to find which of the two ratio is larger. So here they are given two ratios. You have to find which one is larger and which one is smaller. For this you have to find equivalent ratios until you get the same denominator. Is it clear? I am repeating. To check which one is larger, you have to find the equivalent ratios until you get the same denominators. Let's take 4:5 first. So I am taking 4:5. Let's try to make this 5 as 15, because here we have 15. This one is already larger, so we will try to make this 5 as 15. So I am writing it as fraction. So let's multiply by 2. So you will get 4 2s are 8 and 5 2s are 10. So this one is 10, but this one is 15. So let's multiply by another number. So 4 by 5 into 3. 4 3s are 12. 5 3s are 15. Yes, we have got 15. Here also 8 by 15. Now we got the same denominator. Now let's compare the numerators. So which one is larger, 12 or 8? Yes, very good. 12 is the larger number. So which ratio is larger? 12 by 15 is larger than 8 by 15. So I will repeat. To find which ratio is larger, you have to make the denominators same and then compare the numerators. You have to find the same denominators and then you have to compare the numerators. So here 8 by 15. So I am making this 5 as 15. For that I am going to find equivalent ratios. So here 4 2s are 8 and 5 2s are 10. But this is smaller than this one. So again I am multiplying 4 by 5 into 3. So I will get 15. Now I got same denominators and then I am comparing the numerators. So 12 is larger than 8. So 12 by 15 is the larger ratio. Is it clear? Yes, very good. Next problem. Problem number 6. Divide the number 20 in the ratio 3:2. So here one number is given and one ratio is given. You have to divide this number in the given ratio 3:2. So first take the ratio 3:2. So totally how many parts are there in the ratio? For that you have to add the two values in the ratio. So 3:2, I am adding 3 and 2, I will get the total part as 5. So totally 5 parts are there. I am going to divide this 20 as 3 parts and 2 parts. So first take 3. For that write 20 and multiply the first part 3 divided by the total part 5. How will you do? Write the given number and write the first part 3 and divided by the total part. So you can cancel 1 times and 4 5s are 20. So remaining 4 into 3. 4 3s are 12. So I am finding this 3. So I am getting the value for the 3 part is equal to 12. Now let's find for the 2 parts. So you have to write the number 20 and the part 2 by total parts 5. So again I can cancel 1, 4 times 4 2s are 8. So I am dividing 20 in the ratio 3:2 as 12 and 8. So 3 parts out of 20 will be, so 3 by 5 part of 20 will be 12 and 2 by 5 part of 20 will be 8. Is it clear? Okay. Two ratios are equal. We say that the ratios are in proportion. If we have two same ratios, then we can say that those two ratios are in proportion. Once again, I'll read it. When two ratios are equal, that is A by B equal to C by D, we say that the ratios are in proportion. We write it as A is to B is C is to D. A is to B is C is to D, or A is to B equal to C is to D. A is to B equal to C is to D. Suppose if we are asked to check whether the given ratios are in proportion, what will you do? How will you check it? Can you tell me? Yes, for that we have one law, that is proportionality law. Using this proportionality law, you can check the ratios are in proportion or not. So let us read the proportionality law. If two ratios are in proportion, A is to B is C is to D, then the product of the extremes is equal to the product of the means. I'll repeat. If two ratios are in proportion, A is to B is C is to D, then the product of the extremes is equal to the product of the means, that is AD equal to BC, where A and D are called extremes and B and C are called means. What is proportionality law? If two ratios are in proportion, A is to B is C is to D, then the product of the extremes is equal to the product of the means, that is AD equal to BC, where A and D are called extremes, B and C are called means. So let us do one problem. Here is the question. Let's read. By proportionality law, check whether 3 is to 2 and 30 is to 20 are in proportion. So we asked to check these two ratios are in proportion or not. So let us check. First write the ratios. 3 is to 2 and 30 is to 20, where 3 is A and 2 is B, 30 is C and 20 is D. So we have to find product of the extremes and product of the means. Product of the extremes, tell me. A into D. So what is A? 3. What is D? 20. So 3 into 20, 3 2s are 6 and 3 into 0, 0. Now let us find product of the means. Product of the means, B into C. What is the value of B? 2. What is the value of C? 30. So 2 3s are 6, 2 into 0, 0. So what will you get? AD equal to BC, that is 60 equal to 60. So these two ratios are in proportion. So two ratios are given. You have to check whether they are in proportion or not. So writing two ratios, 3 is to 2 and 30 is to 20, where 3 is A, 2 is B and 30 is C, 20 is D. We need to find product of the extremes and product of the means. Product of the extreme is nothing but A into D. So I am multiplying A and D. I will get 60, and the product of the means is nothing but B into C. So I am multiplying B into C, which is nothing but 60. So I am getting AD equal to BC. Therefore, these two ratios are in proportion. That's all. Take page number 72, exercise 3.4. Read the first problem. If the cost of 3 pence is rupees 8, then find the cost of 5 pence. So what is the question? The cost of 3 pence is rupees 18, then you have to find the cost of 5 pence. Now tell me the steps involved in unitary method. First you have to write the mathematical statement. So I am writing the given statements. Cost of 3 pence is 18 rupees. So I am writing cost of 3 pence is equal to rupees 18. So in the next step, you have to find the cost of 1 unit using division. Yes, very good. You have to find the cost of 1 pen using division. We know that cost of 3 pen is 18 rupees. So to find the cost of 1 pen, you have to divide this 18 by 3 because cost of 3 pen is 18. So I am dividing 18 by 3. So what will you get? 1 and 6. So cost of 1 pen is rupees 6. So we have finished 2 steps. What is the final step? You have to find the cost of the required number of units. So cost of 5 pen will be 5 into 6 because cost of 1 pen is 6 rupees and you have to find the cost of 5 pence. What is the third step? You have to multiply the given value. You have to multiply cost of 1 unit with the amount of required units. So we need to find the cost of 5 pence. So I am multiplying 5 with 6 because cost of 1 pen is 6. So I will get 5 6 are 30. Yes, very good. So what is the answer? Cost of 5 pence will be 30 rupees. Is it clear? So let's try one more problem. Yes, very good. Let's read the third problem. If a person reads 20 pages of a book in 2 hours. How many hours? He reads 20 pages in 2 hours. How many pages will he read in 8 hours at the same speed? So what is the question? A person reads 20 pages of a book in 2 hours. How many pages will he read in 8 hours at the same speed? So what is the first step? Yes, you have to write the mathematical statement. So let's write. In 2 hours, he reads 20 pages. What is the second step? You have to find the value for 1 unit. So you have to find in 1 hour how many pages will he read. So for in 1 hour you have to divide this 20 by 2 because in 2 hours he reads 20 pages. For 1 hour you have to divide this 20 by 2. So I will get 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2, the remaining 0. I will get 10. So in 1 hour he reads 20 pages. Sorry, 10 pages. In 1 hour he reads 10 pages. You have to find how many pages will he read in 8 hours. So this is the final step. So you have to multiply this 8 hours with this 10 pages, because in 1 hour he reads 10 pages. So in 8 hours he will read 8 into 10. I'll get 8 into 0, 0, 8 ones are 8. So in 8 hours he will read 80 pages. Okay, is it clear? So what are all the 3 steps? First you have to write the mathematical statement. Second, you have to find the 1 unit using division. Third one, you have to find the required amount of units using multiplication. Clear? Okay.